Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 1 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Onslow County where a woman has taken an Alford plea in regards to arson charges. 37-year-old Chastity Keeter was sentenced to 7 to 12 years after taking an Alford plea for charges she was given for her involvement in 6 Onslow County fires. Those charges include 5 counts of second-degree arson, 2 counts of burning personal property, and 1 count of animal cruelty. An Alford plea allows a defendant to plead guilty without admitting guilt, acknowledging that the evidence against them is likely sufficient for a conviction. Now, Keeter had been charged in March 2024 with 2 counts of arson. She was also charged with the other fires that happened in 2017 and 2018. Now, Keeter was also given a 3 to 5 year suspended sentence and 5 years probation to be served at the end of her active sentence. The Department of Insurance's Criminal Investigations Division began investigating the case in February of 2023 after a request from the Jacksonville Police Department. Now, Keeter was previously convicted of second-degree arson in Rockingham County back in 2004. The woman was featured in a WITN story in 2023 concerning the 911 system and the death of her 18-month-old son. Now, another sad news, we turn to New Bern, where the first Neuse River keeper, Rick Dove, has passed away. Now, Dove passed this past Friday. The retired Marine was a riverkeeper from 1993 to 2000, when the Southeastern representative for the Waterkeeper Alliance from 2000 to 2005. Dove then became a senior advisor and special projects consultant for that organization. Lisa Ryder, the executive director of Coastal Carolina River Watch, says, quote, "Rick's wisdom was steady and constant, always just a phone call away. He taught not with words alone, but through powerful example. From the cockpit of a small plane circling above fields and rivers to reveal the scars of pollution, to being on the water beside volunteers, he showed people the truth with their own eyes. His way of teaching left no room for doubt. He made sure you felt what was at stake in your heart as much as you saw it with your eyes." End quote. And now we want to turn to your weather forecast. Today has been a very sunny day, a very comfortable day as dew points are down. Humidity is really down, and now air temperatures are also down too, but even in August, a lower than average air temperature still feels pretty comfortable outside. Let's take a look at what we're seeing outside eastern North Carolina right now. This is a view through our Morehead City Cam Sanitary Restaurant. Beautiful view of the Intercoastal Waterway. Looks like they might have room for a couple more on that boat there pulling out from the dock. Should be a fun time out on the water, not only for today, but over the next few days. Now, by the time we get to the weekend, unfortunately, we are looking at a coastal low that could lead to some rain showers for those of you watching in Carteret County. But right now in Washington, a little bit more cloud cover than what we're seeing along the coast. But still, these are the happy cumulus clouds that Bob Ross always liked to paint and talk about. 78 degrees in Washington, a 59-degree dew point makes it feel like 80 degrees. A north-northwesterly wind right now coming in at 7 miles an hour is helping keep that humidity low, and that's going to be a big key to the forecast through the next 48 hours. We're going to see again that humidity stay low thanks to a north-northwesterly wind. Now, right now, most of our air temperatures are in the upper 70s. A few of us are into the low 80s at this point, but humidity is down throughout eastern North Carolina. Some areas, again, it's a little bit more pronounced today than what it was yesterday. But even yesterday, we were cooling down thanks to the northerly wind we had yesterday. Well, today, we're back with the northerly winds, northwesterly, if you really want to be exact. But so long as you maintain at least that northerly wind component, whether it's northwest or northeast, that is going to continue to, again, bring in that drier air. So this is very encouraging for those of you who are a fan of this autumn-like air that is currently present over the east. Afternoon planner again shows maybe a little bit more heat showing up. We could warm up by another maybe 1, 2, 3 degrees, but we're not going to jump too much hotter than what we're seeing outside right now. Later on at night, air temperatures dropping out of the 80s by 5 and into the 70s by 6. to the upper 60s, though, by the time we reach 9 p.m. And again, this is going to help keep those humidity levels low coming up again for tomorrow, as overnight lows are expected to drop down back into the upper 50s. Encouraging stuff there. Now keep your eyes on that area of low pressure you're seeing back towards the northwestern corner of Colorado. It's not often where we tell you to take your attention from eastern North Carolina to Colorado, but watch what this area of low pressure is going to do. It's gradually going to kind of sink its way southward across the Gulf Coast and eventually try to work its way kind of right over, or right by, I should say, the eastern North Carolina coastline. It's going to drift off the Georgia coast and then kind of cruise up the Carolina coastline of South Carolina and North Carolina and then work its way out into the Atlantic. But as it does so over the weekend, that low is going to present an opportunity for raindrops coming up pretty much Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. It's not going to be a lot. Most of it's going to be coastal, but do want to at least highlight that aspect of the forecast for you in case you do have, some beach plans for Labor Day weekend. I also want to check in on Tropical Storm Fernand. Right now, maximum sustained winds up 50-mile-an-hour maximum sustained winds. Last check, those were sitting at 45 miles an hour earlier this morning. Pressure has dropped by 1 millibar since that point, but the storm system itself is still moving east at 12 miles an hour. So certainly not one that we're all that concerned about, but being the only system in the Atlantic, we're going to give it a little airtime. We're going to talk about it a bit. But again, no impact to your 8-day forecast, no impact to eastern North Carolina. Things are looking very nice, consistent, and comfortable here as we head through the weekend and into the first week of September. Now, again, note those overnight lows coming up a bit Friday night and Saturday night. That's a sign that humidity may be a little bit more in play thanks to that coastal low scooting by, presenting a little bit of a better opportunity for moisture to sneak into eastern North Carolina. But even then, once we get done with the weekend, those overnight lows stay low, staying in the low 60s coming up for Monday night as well as Tuesday night. That should help keep that humidity low for at least the first half of the first week of September. So that certainly is encouraging. But that's all we have time for today's 1 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a wonderful Wednesday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Supreme Choice.